Alrighty, you're watching Stat Chat Sports. It's myself, Josh, and Tazza. No BT this week, but that doesn't mean that we're doing BT's Game of the Week. It's a pretty self-explanatory game this week. Friday night, Melbourne Collingwood, no questions asked. Second versus third. Tazza, this has got all the hallmarks of a real nice tune-up before finals for both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Second v third. It's going to be an absolute ripper at the G. I mean, this is prime time. This is what Friday night footy was made for. Is these matchups? So, I mean, Melbourne look like they're coming back to their own. They're really finding their form. Collingwood on the back of a 10-game win streak. I mean, we've spoken about Collingwood at length here. Yeah. I'll talk about them a little bit later. They feature in one of our other segments.
Okay.
Personally,
okay.
But yeah, it's going to be a ripper. Jamie Elliott's 150th, so the man of the moment, just over a week ago. So it's going to be a big game.
Yeah. So I do want to touch on Collingwood a little bit because, you know, we've been skeptical, and myself probably more so than the other boys, about Collingwood. And I got to be honest, I'm still not convinced. Like that win over Port Adelaide on the weekend hasn't done anything to sway me either way. But I've been getting some comments as well on the YouTube, but in particular, Panayota Poneros, who, for one, he champed me, and I wasn't overly happy with being champed in the YouTube comments. But look, he called out my prediction of saying that I think Collingwood's more likely to go out in straight sets than they are to win the flag. And look, I still stand by that, because nothing that I've seen from Collingwood in the last 4 to 6 weeks suggests to me that they're capable of beating a top 4 team. This is the test, though, Tazza, obviously. Melbourne getting back into true form. They're up and about.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the true litmus test. That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, 10 games it's nothing to sneeze at.
It's huge.
It's a bloody good achievement. But at some point, to break it down, you've got to look at how they're winning, and they're just getting there by the skin of their teeth every single week. I mean, I watched the Port game. It was a standard 2-quarter performance from Port. Started well, petered out, come back, just turned to crap at the end. And Collingwood, I mean, Port aren't a great team. And at home, Port don't play the G well. And Collingwood, they struggled to really put them away. They really let them back into that game. And I just don't think you can afford to do that in finals. And they will get found out in finals, like you said. 100%, I think they do. If they hit the top 4, I think they are straight out. I think they'll come against... they'll lose the first week. I think the other teams in the 4. I think Sydney's going to be in the 4 now. I think they're a stronger team. And I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of giving away my bold prediction here, but I'm going to go against what I'm saying here. I don't think Collingwood could beat Melbourne or Geelong or Sydney in a final. I think the atmosphere and the pressure would be too much.
Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable to say at all. But obviously Collingwood fans are going to disagree, and there's a bunch of them that are watching our content. So we do like that, and we do appreciate your thoughts in the comments below. This game, though, against Melbourne, where I think it's going to be won is at the contest, is at the source. Darcy Cameron's got to have a big game against Gawn and Jackson, but they've got to nullify them in the contested ball situation. Melbourne, the number 1 team in the competition. If Collingwood can at least break even and not just get those really quick entries inside their forward 50, it's going to give Collingwood's backline a good chance to intercept them and pick them off, which is what they've been in the best in the comp at doing all year long. So I just think that midfield battle is important, and Taylor Adams out for the rest of the year for the rest of the regular season is really going to hurt that, Tazza.
Yeah, he's a big out, and I expect guys like I think Chris is going to have to stand up. He's been pretty awful in this last probably 6 weeks. As a fantasy owner, I brought him in just as his form started to decline. So I know it better than anyone, and apart from Collingwood supporters. And my boy that I spruiked in the preseason, Paddy Lipinski, is going to have to stand up
Oh,
in a big way.
Lipinsk. Jeepers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to bring it up here, but we did have a bet, and I'm probably winning it by virtue of Grundy going down with an injury at the start of the season. So a fair way, a small chunk into the season. But yeah, he needs to step up. He's had some decent performances lately, but this is where he needs to. He doesn't need to take over because he's got De Goey in there, who will have to. He's going to have to spend a heavy load in that midfield. But Lipinski does need to take some of the weight.
And let's just touch on the D's really quickly. Really nice win out west on Friday night over the Dockers, just completely demolished them. That's the sort of performance that we wanted to see from Melbourne, who realistically haven't looked great since probably around round 10 when their winning streak ended.
Yeah. Bailey Fritsch looks like he's approaching something that coming back to his best. He's been pretty much maligned in the last few weeks for toasting his own teammates and looking just tunnel vision at the goals, but he looked a hell of a lot better, and he is playing that team game as well. I saw it a couple of times. It wasn't exactly fruitful every time he tried, but he's definitely trying to play the team game, doing what he can when he can. And Cosy Pickett, I mean, he's starting to get some form too.
Yeah.
So it's a hard job for that Collingwood defense, definitely.
All right, let's tip this game, Tazza. I think I know which way you're going to go, but who do you like?
Well, landing into my bold prediction, I'm going Collingwood.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say. All right,
I didn't think you were good.
No, that's not where I thought you were going. Don't explain yourself. If you want to find out why, tune into our video coming up later on in the week, our bold prediction segment. Taz will tell us why. I think it's fairly obvious where I'm going. I still don't believe in Collingwood. I'm tipping Melbourne. I think Melbourne by 5+ goals. And I just think it'll be the end of that streak for Collingwood. But if you've got differing opinions, let us know in the comments below. We want to hear from you. We want to hear why. And if you're going to chant me, at least make sure you back it up as well with some facts. That'd be nice.